I'd like to move on to the next one, which was the one-page plan. And so if we think about that, and I know it's something I give to clients as well, what must you fit on that one page, and what do you leave off on purpose?
That's a really nice question. I like the way you frame that. I think a one-page plan should be done, at least metaphorically, with a Sharpie and cardstock. And the Sharpie, I think, is just a metaphor for a blunt instrument. Like it's not a point .5 lead pencil that you could write a million words. You have some constraints on what, and as you pointed to, what would you leave off? I mean, the intent behind the one-page plan for me, and again, my work is largely just an adventure journal. It's not necessarily meant to be self-help or prescriptive in any way. It's meant to just provide a journal of a fellow traveler. For me, the purpose of a one-page plan was to remind me of what was really important, to remind me of the purpose. You could use Simon Sinek's work around like start with why. You could think about it as a personal money mission statement. Any language is fine. So I think the most important thing is the top sentence or two. For me, the most important thing has been the top sentence or two, which I often refer to as a statement of financial purpose. And for me, mine says time with my family, mainly outside, and service in my community. Some other examples would be my friend Jerry, who was sort of Tom Brokaw's greatest generation, a veteran. And, Jerry wasn't the kind of person that was going to cry in your office when you asked him about money. But when we asked Jerry about this, he said, was very thoughtful about it. And he said, I never want to be a burden to the kids. And so on the top of his one-page plan, I never want to be a burden to the kids. And I'd like to spend more time with my grandkids and serve in the community if there was money left over, right? If there was time or energy, money left, capital left over. So I think that's the first part of a one-page plan is like just a reminder, a simple sentence or two that can act as a touchstone. It can, like the reason this is important is you have to have something to self-correct to, right? And the very first place, like when you're feeling scared about money, like it could be the markets are scary. It could be you lost your job. It could be like you didn't get the inheritance you'd planned on. Like whatever it is, I kind of metaphorically think of us as being way out in the branches of a tree, and there's a windstorm, and the branches they're moving a lot when you're way out in the branches. But if you can get yourself back to the trunk, it's probably not moving at all, especially down near the roots. It's actually not moving at all down near the roots. And I think that what we're putting at the top of a one-page plan is the roots of the issue. Like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, no matter what's going on in the scary markets, time with my family mainly outside, can I still do? Okay, great. Then I can start moving up a little bit. And the next part of a one-page plan would be a statement of maybe your most important goals. And again, I use that word carefully. Those goals will be informed by the statement of purpose. For Jerry, never want to be a burden to the kids. Okay, let's put some framework around that. What would you need to have in order to never be a burden to the kids? And we'll call those goals. Want to spend time with the grandkids? How much would that cost? I mean, I remember Jerry specifically said, I would like $10,000 a year that I don't even have to think about. I can do anything I want with the grandkids. Okay, well, that's a nice goal, right? $10,000 a year. So you may have a list of goals, and I always think of ranking those goals in order of importance.
Mhm.
Like, what's your priority, order of importance? And then the last part of a one-page plan, to me, it's a living, breathing document, is like, what are you going to do next? Like early on, I think of those as like next 90 days. Sometimes they could be next week. Sometimes they could be this year, depending on how mature your planning is. Like you may have a bunch of stuff kind of nailed down in the early days of a financial plan. There's a lot of work to do. And it could be like, next 90 days, we're going to get these 10 things done. And it could eventually be like, okay, what's our focus this year? So it's statement of financial purpose, a statement of next level, like the purpose. From the purpose flows this thing we call goals. I don't love that word, but I don't think we have a better. You could use intentions, right? Like whatever it is.
Mhm.
And then what are you going to do next? That to me is my version of a one-page plan. I've seen lots of versions. They're all amazing. That's my version.
I like that. And I know that when I work on somebody's life plan with them, like that's where I look to get that purpose out of there. And that's what I start with too, because I think it is so important because it does help keep you focused.
Yeah. Whenever I'm feeling a little scared or nervous, which is often, like about maybe a business project or an investment we made, or I'll just return back, oh, yeah, that's right. Am I spending enough time with my family, mainly outside? Yeah, I am. Or maybe like right now, I feel like I'm in a slight period of planned imbalance around that. But I can know that by returning and going, I'm not quite getting the time outside I want, especially with our new hunting dog. It's fall. I should be spending more time. Oh yeah, that's right. You're intentionally doing this, so it's a planned imbalance. Okay, fine. I don't know that it's ever about resolving the tension I'm in balance. That's what I used to think it was about, and we're all smart enough now to know that's a myth. It's just always about the sort of the practice of modulating between them in a healthy way, in a very intentional way, and reminding yourself of why. And you may wake up and go, oh my gosh, how did I get so far off track? I know that happens to me. And then I'm like, oh, okay. It might take a couple weeks to get the ship righted, but at least now I know I'm headed back,
Exactly.